I'm the record you play when you wanna feel blue, the ghost in the hallway that's waiting for you. I'm the scent on the sweater you won't wash away, the romantic ghost of a midwinter day. The bass is a shadow following your feet, a heartbreak rhythm that's bitter and sweet. You call me in whispers when the tequila runs dry, searching for us in the nevermind lie. You love how I hurt, you love how I taste, a beautiful rule in a romantic waste. I'm your favorite gray, I'm the scar you still touch, the one that you love just a little too much. A heartbroken anthem in a smoke-filled room, the sweetest of flowers, the darkest of bloom. You don't wanna fix it, you just want the depth of being my lover and my favorite regret. I'm the what if that keeps you awake until 4, the shadow that's leaning against your front door, the saxophone wails for the heat of our past, a romantic fire that was never meant to last. You keep me in a box, you keep me on a shelf, a version of me that you keep for yourself. Am I a memory, or am I a cage? Just a tear-stained line on a forgotten page. The saxophone erupts into a passionate solo. It starts with a smooth, romantic caress, then builds into high, screaming notes of agony, representing the cycle of a love that only lives in the sorry. I'm your favorite gray, I'm the scar you still touch, the one that you love just a little too much. A heartbroken anthem in a smoke-filled room, the sweetest of flowers, the darkest of bloom. You don't wanna fix it, you just want the depth of being my lover and my favorite regret. I'm the story you tell with a heavy sigh, a lingering nest in your mind. My thumbs are hovering over the screen's bright glow, typing out a message, something you should know. My fingers start the rhythm, a familiar hopeful beat. Hey honey, hope you're dead. The algorithm takes the street. It offers up the words I used 1,000 times before, suggestions for a love that doesn't live here anymore. I miss your smile, can't wait to see you soon. completes our broken tune. It's autofill for I love you, a predictive hollow text, a digital replacement for the feelings we perplex. The saxophone is playing memories in my head, a romantic sad reminder of everything we said. The bass line still pulsing like a heart trying to cope, but the words are just dating now, a ghost of vanished hope. I used to type those 3 words, easy, strong, and true. Now I just hit delete before the text goes through. The phone thinks it knows me, remembers when we clicked, but the software can't predict the moments we conflict. It doesn't know the silence that's grown between our calls, or the way my hopeful future slowly starts to fall. It offers always, forever, words we can't sustain, just shortcuts to a future steeped in quiet pain. It's autofill for I love you, a predictive hollow text, a digital replacement for the feelings we perplex. The saxophone is playing memories in my head, a romantic sad reminder of everything we said. The bass line still pulsing like a heart trying to cope, but the words are just dating now, a ghost of vanished hope.
The bass line suddenly gets more complex and distressed. The saxophone becomes more urgent, a cry against the machine like pulse of the beat.
The code is running circles, a loop I can't escape, suggesting happy endings that never take their shape. I wanna write something real, something raw and new, but the technology of heartache keeps defaulting back to you. It's a shortcut to the past, a template for goodbye, as my hopeful simple messages just dissolve into a sigh.
Screen dims to black now. The message isn't sent. I'm stuck here with the ghost of what our future meant. The autofill is waiting, ready for the next try. But some things can't be programmed, like how to say goodbye.
It's autofill for I love you, a predictive hollow text, a digital replacement for the feelings we perplex. The saxophone is playing memories in my head, a romantic sad reminder of everything we said. The bass line still pulsing like a heart Silver thread over the hollow side of this king-size bed. I trace the space where shadow used to lean. Now I'm just a ghost in a velvet scene. The bass thumps slow like a dying pulse, trying to find a rhythm in the impulse to call your name across the hall. But there's nothing left but the peeling. You want it all, so you cut a silhouette of my heavy heart. It's a paper thin love, it's a fragile thing, tearing at the edges while the saxophones sing. Fold me into pieces, throw me in the rain. A paper heart can't handle this much pain. You were the ink and I was the page, a beautiful story trapped in a cage. I still smell your smoke on my favorite coat, like a final line that you never wrote. One breath of wind and I'm blown away, just a scrap of forever from yesterday. The saxophone takes the lead, playing a melody that sounds like a controlled sob. It climbs to a high wailing note before dropping into a low gravelly growl. The bass stays steady, echoing the sadness. Careful how you touch me, I'm easy to burn. I'm the hardest lesson that you'll never learn. Yeah, you'll never learn. It's a paper next to a stack of stories that we never got to fold. I'm walking through the hallway, but the floorboards don't feel right. They don't hum the way they used to when you'd kiss me every night. The dust is dancing slowly in a shaft of morning light, in a room that's full of memories but empty of the sight of you. I bought your favorite coffee just to smell it in the air, but the silence at the table is more than I can bear. The walls are painted linen, but they look like graveyard gray, since you took the warmth of us and threw it all away. I'm a tenant in a memory, paying rent in tears, living in the wreckage of our golden years. This house isn't a home anymore, it's a shell, a beautiful heaven that turned into hell. The windows are watching for your car in the drive, but there's nothing in these rafters that's still alive. I'm sleeping in the center of a king-size bed, loving a ghost while the living part is dead. Build a fire in the hearth, but it won't get warm. It's just four walls hiding me from the storm. But the storm is on the inside, dripping through the roof, and every empty closet is the bitter, lonely proof. This house isn't a home anymore, it's a cage where I'm stuck on the words of a final page. The windows are watching for your car in the drive, but there's nothing in these rafters that's still alive. I'm sleeping in the center of a king-size bed, loving a ghost while the living part is dead. Just wood and stone, I'm all alone. Turn out the light. This house isn't a The fever's gone, the smoke has cleared the room. No more jagged edges, no more heavy gloom. Stop looking for the why and the how. The only thing that's left is the empty now. The bass is a scalpel, thin and bright, cutting through the shadows of our final night. There's no more screaming, there's no more whine. Just a straight white border at the end of the line. A romantic ending, sterile and neat. The sound of a heart that's admitted defeat. Oh, it's a clean page, a sharp kind of blue. No more muddy memories of me and you. A heartbroken clarity, a crystalline sting. The winter that threw the rose, a broken spring. It doesn't thrive, it doesn't breathe. It's just the quiet truth of everything I need. I wash the sheets, I opened up the door. I don't find your hair on the wooden floor. The saxophone wails with a clinical grace, searching for the warmth of a vanished face. But the air is just air, and the light is just light, and the bed is a desert in the middle of the night. No more ghosts, no more lies, no more maybe in the back of my eyes. Oh, it's a clean pain, a sharp kind of blue. No more muddy memories of me and you. A heartbroken clarity, a crystalline sting. The winter that follows, a broken spring. It doesn't thrive, it doesn't bleed. It's just the quiet truth of everything I need. Nothing left to bind, nothing left to hide. Pure as the frost in December 2025. Blue light is a ghost haunting the corner of my eye, reflecting off the ceiling where my prayers go to die. I've typed out an ocean seem to stop. I'm staring at your picture till the pixels start to bleed, trying to find the love that I desperately need. The timestamp says delivered, but I know that's just a lie. A cold machine's confession that you didn't even try. I'm scrolling through the history back to when the screen was warm, back when every hay was a shelter from the storm. Now I'm shouting in a canyon and I'm listening for the sound, but my heart is just a signal that is lost and never found. I'm drowning in 1,000 unanswered texts tonight. A galaxy sent once with no return inside. Every gray box silence is a bullet made of lead, a romantic little eulogy for everything we said. I'm holding on to nothing in the palm of my hand, writing I still miss you in the digital sand. Read at 10 o'clock, read at midnight, read at 3. The silence is the loudest thing you've ever sent to me. I'm drowning in 1,000 unanswered texts tonight. A galaxy of sent ones with no return inside. Every gray box silence is a bullet made of love, a romantic little eulogy for everything we said. Just one word, anything but this. 1,000 heartbreak. Oh. The clock on the mantel is lying to the room, trying to sweep the shadows with a broken wooden broom. We're sitting in the kitchen with the coffee growing cold, wearing out the stories that we've already told. I'm memorizing how the light hits see it in the way you avoid my heavy eyes. The truth is getting louder through the logic of our lives. We're painting over cracks with a color called okay. Just trying to keep the winter from the middle of our maze. You're leaning in for kisses that feel like a goodbye, and I'm pretending that I didn't see the flicker in your always ends in rain. One more hour, can we just buy one more hour? But the bank is empty and the smiles are all spent. Yeah, we're living on borrowed time and borrowed smiles, counting down the inches while we're drifting across miles. I'm holding on to us like it's something I can keep, but you can't wake a heart that's already gone to sleep beside some a slow, descending melody that mirrors the intro. The lease is up. Give me back my heart. Borrowed time. It was never really mine. The sun came up, but I didn't see the gold. Just the same ashen story that's getting old. I remember when your laughter was a crimson wine, and the blue of your eyes matched the summer vine. But the bass is pulling the curtains tight, tuning out the color invited in the night. trapped in a palette designed by fate. I close my eyes to find the neon we knew, but I'm losing the memory of every hue. Now I'm dreaming in grayscale, dreaming in smoke. The rainbow of us is a cool silent joke, a romantic shadow on a monochromatic wall. I'm watching the silver and the charcoal fall. No more technicolor, no more brilliant light, just a heartbroken canvas of black and white. I walk through the garden where the violets die. Everything's bleached by the tears that I've cried. I try to paint your portrait with the warmth of my skin, but the brush only finds where the shadows begin. The saxophone lows for a spark of the green in a world that is static, in a world that is mean. Give me back the yellow, the kitchen light. Give me back the fire of a Saturday night.
Saxophone takes a searing solo. It starts with a romantic lyrical phrase that suddenly shatters into high, piercing altissimo notes, representing a mind losing its grip on the beauty of the past.
Now I'm dreaming in grayscale, dreaming in smoke. The rainbow of us is a cruel silent joke, a romantic shadow on a monochromatic wall. I'm watching the silver and the charcoal fall. No more technicolor, no more brilliant light, just a heartbroken canvas of black and white, fading to silver, while the sharp blue
In 20 color fiber, I forgot.
the color of you. The grandfather clock is leaning against the wall, watching the minutes turn to liquid and fall. The brass is bending, the numbers are blurred, just like the forever in the last thing I heard. The basses are heavy, rhythmic thud in the floor, like a heartbeat that doesn't know what it's beating for. The hours are warping, the calendar's gold is turning to lead in a story untold. I'm reaching for you through a romantic haze, but I'm lost in the stretch of these distorted days. I'm living in a world of melting clocks and a frozen heart. see your reflection in a mirror that's soft, a ghost of the passion we carried aloft. Now the saxophone wails for the tick and the tap, for the simple direction of never going back. But the hands of the watch are just weeping on the glass, watching the ghosts of our memories pass. Stop the drip, stop the flow. I'm too cold to stay, but too heavy to go. Seconds like honey, cold as the grave. The time is gone, but the hurt stays frozen. The stream used to rush, it used to sing over the stones. Now it's just a hollow ache inside my weary bones. We were riverwards, the piercing deep. Now we're just a secret that the lilies keep. The bass is the south, settling at the bottom of the lake, heavy with the weight of every choice we didn't make. The dragonflies have left, the air is thick and still, the romantic fever's turned into a chill. Nothing is moving, nothing is new, just the green quiet moss of me missing you. Oh, the sadness of stagnant water, at my face in the dark. Oily pool, looking for the lover, but finding only the fool. The saxophone cries like a bird, lost in the reeds, singing for the garden that's overgrown with weeds. You're a ghost in the rushes, a blur in the gray, stuck in the water that forgot how to wash away. Break the dam, let the rain fall down. I'd rather be swept away than watch us both drown in the quiet, in the used to be. Oh, the sadness of stagnant water, the heartbreak of the pause. We're caught in the ripples of a love without a cause. No current to carry us, no tide to pull us home. Just a romantic ruin under a sky of chrome. The surface is glassy, but the heart is a flood of everything we buried in the river mud. Still, so still. December's end is a frozen pond. No more flow. Just the sadness. Of us. The diner clock is stuck at 4:30. The same time you walked out through the heavy wooden door. I'm sitting in the booth where we carved out our names. Now it's just a graveyard for our old flickering flames. I reach across the table to touch your ghost hand, but my fingers only meet the grain of the wood and the sand. I saw a coat of dirt that looked just like yours. It opened up a hallway of 1,000 closed doors. I started to call out, I started to run. Then I remembered we're finished, I remembered we're done. The hearth is cold, the stone is gray, the warmth of us has drifted away. I'm staring at the wood that refused to burn, at the lessons of love I was forced to learn. The bass thumps slow, like a dying coal. The smoke is rising from a hole in my soul. There's no more flicker, there's no more light, just the romantic ghost of a Saturday night. We used to be a forest on fire, wild and tall. Now I'm just watching the shadows crawl. The fire's been extinguished, the flame is gone, leaving me frozen in the gray of the dawn. A heartbroken winter, a romantic debris of the furnace that used to be you and me. No more heat, no more spark, just two lovers lost in the damp and the dark. I can still smell the cedar and the scent of your skin in the room where the winter is invited in. The saxophone wails for the glow we once knew. Before the water of the world soaked through, I'm clutching the matches, but the box is all wet, and I'm shivering in the chill of a deep regret. Did the wind blow too hard? Did we run out of air? Or did we just stop pretending that the heat was still there? Saxophone erupts into a searing solo. It starts with a passionate romantic scream, then slowly peters out into a series of breathy, rhythmic hisses like water hitting hot coals. Oh, the fire has been extinguished, the flame is gone, leaving me frozen in the gray of the dawn. A heartbroken winter, a romantic made of paper thin ideals, folding up the future, ignoring how the story feels. You drew the windows, I sketched the garden view, a perfect little fantasy built for me and you. We launched him from the hilltop, laughing at the breeze, blind to the dark clouds hiding in the trees. We're paper planes in a rainstorm, beautiful and brief. Our promises are dissolving beneath this sudden grief. The ink is running sideways, the edges turning soft. Our fragile love is falling when it once flew so aloft. The baseline is thrumming, the sound of the world outside, while our paper airplane dreams have nowhere left to hide. You used to watch them soar with me, believe they touch the sun. Now you just watch the puddles, our journey barely begun. I trace the folds you made, the corners you would crease, trying to find the moment when our flight found no release. I hold one to my chest now, a soggy, sorry mess. It's just a crumpled memory of our happiness. We're paper planes in a rainstorm, beautiful and brief. Our promises are dissolving beneath this sudden grief. The ink is running sideways, the edges turning soft. Our fragile love is falling when it once flew so aloft. The baseline is thrumming, the sound of the world outside, while our paper airplane dreams have nowhere left to hide. I try to shield them, put them in my code, but the water always finds them, keeping them from float. One drop at a time, washing us away. There's nothing left to salvage, nothing left to save. We designed them not to last, didn't use real glue, just hope and fragile paper for a love that wasn't true. Storm has finally settled, the paper's on the ground, just a pulpy mess of what we thought we found. You turn and walk away now, a final silent break, leaving just the ruins of the love We're paper planes in a rainstorm, beautiful and brief. Our promises are dissolving beneath this sudden grief. The ink is running sideways, the edges turning soft. Our fragile love is falling when it once flew so aloft. The baseline is thrumming, the sound of the world outside. While our paper airplane dreams have nowhere left to hide. The music fades slowly, the saxophone plays one final fading note until just the solitary fading bass line remains, echoing the last drops of rain. Paper planes in a rainstorm. Just crumpled paper in a broken heart. Our flight is over. The canvas is torn and the studio is cold. I'm painting with colors that we used to hold. A splash of your laughter in a shade of deep red. Now it's just a rust stain on the side of the bed. The bass thrumming low like a heavy dog oil, watching the beauty of us start to spoil. A skeleton, the outlines of where your head lay, using the ashes of our yesterday. A romantic portrait of a love that's been burned. I'm the master of lessons that I never learned. I'm the aftermath artist, the painter of pain, finding the beauty in the blood and the rain. A heartbroken gallery of what used to be, framing the ghost of you and me. Every brushstroke is heavier, every shadow is deep. I'm the aftermath artist of the promises we couldn't keep. I sculpted your memory out of salt and of stone. Now I'm standing in the center of the wreckage alone. The saxophone cries for the curve of your grace as the turpentine of time starts to wash out your face. closing, the lights are going dim. My finest work is the hole you left behind. Cotton is fading, but the scent is still there. A ghost of your cedar and the salt in your air. I pull the sleeves tight till they're bruising my skin, trying to keep all the earth folded in. The buttons are missing, just like pieces of me. A map of a person I'm no longer free to be. I walk through the kitchen in this oversized shroud. The silence in here is becoming too loud. I'm wearing your memories like a second skin, wondering where your heartbeat ends and mine should begin. I haven't washed it since that night in July, because once the smell goes then the last of us dies. Oh, I'm sleeping in the shirt you left behind, searching for your pulse in the threads of my mind. It's a romantic kind of torture, a beautiful wake, a fabric-covered promise I'm not ready to break. I'm holding on to shadows while the morning turns gray, dressed in the love that you threw If I take it off, does that mean you're gone? If I change my clothes, how do I move on? It's just threads and ink, it's just buttons and dye, but it's the only way I know how to say hi when I really mean goodbye. Yeah, I'm sleeping in the shirt you left behind, searching for your pulse in the threads of my mind. It's a romantic kind of torture, a beautiful wake, a fabric-covered promise I'm not ready to break. The collar still smells like you, just a little bit. Don't let the scent fade. I'm still wearing your ghost. Stage lights faded, the applause is done. The words you spoke so clearly under every sun. I saw the light in your eyes, a brilliant focus gleam. We're caught within that spotlight. I felt a dying dream. You used to look at me when you would speak of us. Now your gaze floats past me, a future you discuss. Oh, the silence in your keynote, it speaks so loud. A hollow aching space between us, hidden in the crowd. The words you didn't say, the commitment left unsaid. A symphony of heartache is echoing in my head. The bass line of my life is playing out of key. The silence in your keynote, you spoke of vision, of roads we need to take, of building bridges for the future's sake. Your hands were moving, painting futures in the air, but they never reached for mine, and I just stood right there. I remember when those hands would trace my name. Now they just point forward, ignoring the dying flame. Oh, the silence in your keynote, it speaks so loud. A hollow aching space between us, hidden in the crowd. The words you didn't say, the commitment left unsaid. A symphony of heartache is echoing in my head. The bass line of my life is playing out of key. The silence in your keynote is breaking me. I was the anchor, the safe harbor in your storm. Now I'm just a memory, a place that's no longer warm. You built a future without me, in metaphors and facts, and I'm left here counting all the things our road
Heartbroken. Extended saxophones over full of raw emotion and despair. The bass holding down a steady, sorrowful rhythm underneath it builds to a dramatic peak before settling back into a horrorful melody.
You're packing up the microphone. One final glance you steal, a professional performance for a pain you can't conceal. One last look, a half smile you can't fake, a beautiful exit for a heart about to break. Oh, the silence in your keynote, it speaks so loud. A hollow aching space between us, hidden in the crowd. The words you didn't say, the commitment left unsaid, a symphony of heartaches is echoing in my head. The bass line of my life is playing out of key. The silence in your keynote is breaking me.
The silence in your keynote. Our final song. In one quiet keynote. The end of us. In the silence.
The table is set for a dinner for one in the kitchen where our love was begun. I cooked your favorite, the rosemary wine, but breathe in it just sour, just like our time. The salt on the rim isn't from the seeds, the flavor of what you've taken from me. My palate has changed, the sweetness is gone. I'm starving for light and a permanent dawn. I used to crave the honey of your skin, now I only know the copper where the hurt sets in. I've developed a taste buds for the bitter and the gray. I got taste buds for tears since you walked away. A gourmet of grief, a banquet of fears, drinking down the vintage of my wasted years. Every kiss we shared now tastes like rust. I'm feasting on the ashes and the desert dust. Sugar, a sting in the cream, the sour milk reality of a curdled dream. I try to remember the peach of your laugh, but the knife in my hand only cuts us in half. The bass notes are heavy, a lead-weighted meal, swallowing the iron of the way that I feel. I'm hungry for the us that we used to be, before the forever turned to just me. Starving, I'm starving, but I'm full of salt. I've developed the taste buds for the bitter and the gray. I've got taste buds for tears since you walked away. A gourmet of grief, a bag Streetlights blur in circles of gold. The air is biting, coffee's gone cold. I'm leaning my head against the glass, watching the ghosts of our memories pass. The clouds are heavy, a bruised shade of blue. Everything tonight feels exactly like you. Oh, this rain sounds like your voice, softly calling I've mastered the art of the empty chair. I can see your silhouette in the thinning air. I've studied the silence between the clock's ticks. I know every shadow that the moonlight picks. The bass is a pulse in a room gone cold. The story of us that I've overtold. I'm a scholar of the space you used to fill, a scientist of hearts that are standing still. I've got a doctorate in the way you walked away, and I'm practicing the things I'll never get to say. I'm an expert in your absence, a pro at being alone. I've built a romantic kingdom out of shattered bone. I know the exact frequency of a closing door, and the way the dust settles on our bedroom floor. One more degree in a hard school. I'm an expert in your absence, and a world-class fool. I can tell you the scent of a ghost in the hall. I can trace the exact spot where our pictures used to fall. I've memorized the rhythm of your not coming home. I'm a poet of the desert, a king of the chrome. The saxophone wails for the touch of your skin, but it only finds the place where the echoes begin. They say practice makes perfect. They say time is a friend, but I'm just perfecting the art of the end. The saxophone takes it soulful, tragic solo, starting with a rental fresh phrase that slowly unravels into frantic crying notes, echoing the descent from love into heaven. I'm an expert in your absence, a pro at being alone. I've built a romantic kingdom out of shattered bone. I know the exact frequency of a closing door, and the way the dust settles on our bedroom floor. One more degree in a Harvard school. I'm an expert in your absence, and a world-class fool. I've got it down to a science now. The way it hurts to breathe. The saxophone plays a final breathy I love you motif that trails off into silence in losing you. In losing you. I reached the end of the chapter tonight, waiting for the ending you promised to write. I turned the leaf with a trembling hand, looking for a map of this hollow land. But the ink has vanished, the story is thin, and I'm staring at the paper where you should have been. No words for the sorry, no lines for the stay, just a vast wide desert where we used to play. The search that full of shivers, a romantic ghost, searching for the lover that it misses the most. Oh, the last page is blank, the story is gone, a heartbroken silence in the light of the dawn. I'm holding the spine of a romantic lie, watching the forever just wither and die. No final goodbye, no closure inside, just a white, empty void in the middle of the night.
The saxophone plays a hollow melody, skipping notes as if searching for a lost word.
I check the margins for a secret note, a single syllable that you might have wrote. But the bass is the only thing speaking to me, a deep throbbing anthem of what used to be. The volume is zero, the canvas is clear, it's the loudest silence of this whole damn year. Did you run out of heart? Did the pen just go dry? Or did you leave it empty so I'd have to cry?
Saxophone takes a searing, jagged solo. It starts with a lush, green magic theme that separate fractures, playing high, desperate notes that sound like a pen scratching against paper before falling into a low, weeping growl.
Oh, the last page is blank, the story is gone, a heartbroken silence in the light of the dawn. I'm holding the spine of a romantic lie, watching the forever just wither and die. No final goodbye, no closure inside, just a wide, empty void in the middle of the night.